Sexual harassment in tertiary institutions has been a cause for concern over time. It is reported that most victims either leave with emotional scars or are stigmatized when reported. A non-government organization, Gender Mobile Initiative, established primarily to complement the policy and program effort of government and relevant stakeholders, is eliminating sexual and gender-based violence, particularly in environments of learning. Launched its mobile app, Campus Pal, in Abuja on Monday. I thought it was launched yesterday.
Came to terms with the reality of the epidemic proportion of sexual harassment in our fine institutions. In the last 3 years, we have focused on environment of learning to address sexual harassment from a policy standpoint and through technology adoption. This effort piloted in 4 tertiary education institutions, and I'm glad to share that this has morphed into partnerships with 101 tertiary education institutions with support from the Ford Foundation.
So with the evolving nature of sexual harassment and the built-in stigmatization within the system that discourages victims from taking action against their abusers and perpetuating the culture of silence, it should be noted that victims need immediate support systems and action towards a framework for seeking and getting redress.
From just the video they presented, I saw more than 68% of our female experience sexual harassment in the higher institutions. So bringing this kind of initiative or innovation that can help solve a problem impacting many people in Nigeria is a groundbreaking for me.
To address and curb this disturbing form of gender-based violence, Ford is supporting various initiatives, innovative and effective strategies, including a range of solutions and services for prevention, accountability and support. These border on psychosocial, medical, trauma, technology, and all that we need to ensure that we curb this menace.
Now, for more on the launch of this platform, Omowumi Ogunrotimi, a multidisciplinary legal practitioner, founder of the executive director at Gender Mobile Initiative, and doubles as the deputy head AUECOSOCC Sectoral Committee on Women and Gender in Nigeria, joins us now. Good to have you, Omowumi. Now, your multidisciplinary training seems to have, an experience seems to have set you up for what you're doing now, but so I don't seem to be presuming. What made you think a tech solution was what was needed for this area of, gender abuse and things of this sort at this time?
Oh, great. Thank you for that question. So as a survivor of sexual and gender-based violence at the age of 14, that experience did define my career path as a legal practitioner, basically because I was looking for clear pathways to be able to advocate for the rights of women. But most importantly, to say that I lost my childhood best friend to an incident of rape in the course of procuring an unsafe abortion of that rape. And that experience was it for me. So several years after that time, I haven't gone to the law school, called to the Nigerian bar, and also looking at really juicy aspects of practice like corporate commercial law, but still realizing also that the issue that happened about, several years back was still an issue as at, in the present day Nigeria. So I felt that it was really pertinent to look outwards and to think about, really great solutions to bridge existing gaps in terms of reporting of sexual harassment cases and in general sexual and gender-based violence cases. And I also realized that my interaction with young girls in my immediate community did lend credence to the fact that this issue was a major issue that we needed to beam the light. And there was no better way to address this issue than to leverage technology in terms of a 24/7 dedicated helpline and a web-based platform, basically to create, platforms for people to access a range of services, especially first aid counseling, psychosocial support, and information-based referral.
Great. So tell us, who can access this platform and how exactly does it work?
So the Campus platform is, a feature-rich platform, basically to help persons on campus, students, non-academic staff, academic staff, everyone in the campus community to report cases with the highest degree of confidentiality. You'd realize the sexual harassment has assumed really critical dimensions in recent time. The Sex for Grades video, of course, opened our eyes to emerging issues on, lack of definitional clarity, lack of grievance redressal mechanism, and even lack of clear pathways to actually report cases of this nature. So as a student on campus, as a lecturer in non-academic staff, if you've been sexually harassed, you can actually leverage this platform to report cases. You can choose to disclose your identity, and you can also choose to report anonymously. It also creates room for bystander intervention, which means the persons can come on the platform to create safe spaces where they can have nuanced and respectful conversations. This has proven to be, a best practice where students and even other lecturers or non-academic staff can help create a support system where they can provide one form of support or the other to persons who have been sexually harassed in the environment of learning.
Yes, I mean, as you're speaking, I can only think that the implications, especially in the area of mental health support, are far-reaching. There's still so much mileage to be covered in this area. So could you help us by giving us maybe, I don't know how you'll do it, but giving us a testimonial of how effective this app has been so far?
So I would say that this app was launched yesterday, so which means that, we're looking to hear from people in the coming days on how they're using the app and how user-friendly it is. But, during the alpha and beta testing, of course, we got really interesting feedback, from members in that community. And, of course, in the coming days, too, we are looking to get other feedbacks. We're in partnership with 101 tertiary education institutions, which means that those 101 institutions are signed up on the platform. So, and, of course, every institution is obliged or is mandated to constitute an anti-sexual harassment prohibition committee that would enable them to take reports at the back end of the mobile app. But in general, I mean, with the call center that we actually leverage, we've got really interesting feedback from people who'd say that, from the call center infrastructure, they are able to access hands-on services, information-based referral, because when people are harassed, I think the most important thing also is for them to be able to access a range of information that would help them take informed decision on what next steps to take, and of course, most importantly, also how to navigate the terrain.
Well, we must commend you for this wonderful initiative of yours, and thank you so much for what you're doing. And thank you for coming on the show, Maumi. We wish you the best.